tight game, Mitch? And then what do you think led to things unraveling?
Give them a lot of credit. They are in the top tier of the league in terms of having a real identity and playing to that identity. And when a team, specifically us, obviously I'm alluding to, but I think in general, gets away from how they play or their identity, they are very, very disciplined and consistent in that regard. It does not go with the score, the results of a play, the reffing, who's in. They're very clear on who they are as a team, and it shows, and they get a lot of credit for that.
What is the challenge of playing a team like them with the pace that they relentlessly play at?
It's discipline, and you have to fight that with some relentlessness back. But it needs to be disciplined again, unless you play that style, which, we want to play fast, but not in the same quite light as they do, if that makes sense. And so I think last game I talked about a style of a fight, and you feel that where they start imposing their will on the game. And it doesn't necessarily have to even be the score. And I think they are a great reflection of a team that believes over time their identity will show through as they impose their will. And you give them a lot of credit for that.
Has that been a challenge, Mitch, specifically against teams? I think of like Chicago plays with a lot of pace. You've had trouble with them. Has that been an issue for this team, you think?
At times. Yeah, I think at times. I think it's not a young thing, so I'm not going to say that. But I do think it is an experience thing of understanding fool's gold, for lack of a better term, and not trying to overtalk as much as I already have, but just understanding that everything isn't as good as it feels at the time in the first, second, and third quarter, especially if it's feeding into how they want the game to go.
When you have two straight games against the same team and kind of starts close, finishes not so close, are you able to look at those as a collective, or are they still very individual, I guess, in your eyes when you're taking a look back at what happened?
I think both. I think every game takes on its own personality, but again, when you play the same team, you're going to have a lot of similarities and things that intertwine just because it's a lot of the same people out there. And again, we are not adjusting too much other than a few wrinkles or tweaks here and there, but we're not trying to be a different team every game. So when you have the same two teams playing, there'll be a lot of similarities.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't think you called a timeout during that run at the end of the third quarter. What were you hoping the guys would sort of figure out on the fly? Or
I didn't have one.
Oh, that would be a good reason.
Yeah. But, again, it's one of those where I think guys were trying to make plays, and the way they guard and the way the game was going, it probably was going to be the second, third, or fourth action or person trying to make a play. And I think when we look back at it, I don't know if we took bad shots, we took quick shots. And again, you just put yourself in the potential possibility if you miss the shot, here we go. And that's what happened in that stretch, it felt like, at least until I look back at it.
Are they really cognizant of that fool's gold aspect that you talked about, and are you optimistic that they'll make the necessary adjustments? I mean, you got Indiana coming up, a team with a lot of pace.
I hope so, and we will see.
Thank you.